Welcome back. If you're tuning in on the live stream, the drift stream has been known over the years. Again, if you have not been to a competition of the Formula Drift Championship and you're here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, every weekend prior to this very event, we kick off our Formula Drift Championship on these very turns. So if you want to see a collective effort of some of the biggest, baddest, like sideways tire smoking machines, join us. The first round of the Formula Drift Championship, it goes off on these very streets. We have 8 rounds of the overall Formula Drift Championship this year, 7 here in the lower 48, and then we have 1 up in Montreal. That includes, we kick it off here, we go to Atlanta, we go to New Jersey, we go to Texas, we go to Seattle, we go to Florida, and then it ends back here in Irwindale, California for the final round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview to find out who our 2016 Formula Drift champion will be. We'll introduce to you our now 10 drivers, unfortunately, our 10 drivers that are going to be competing here this evening, as we found out that one of the drivers, unfortunately, his crankshaft broke. So a hard-charging driver, Alex Hilbrun, will be retiring from competition. So 10 drivers, and I tell you, these guys are going to be putting on a show this evening here under the lights of one spectacle of an event. We'll get them into position. We'll introduce them to you. Place your bets, get excited, make some noise. Regardless of the outcome, you're about to see one tire burning, clutch kicking, good time. Are you ready, Long Beach? The Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge is about to begin after we introduce our drivers. The first car parked closest to the bridge. He's from Wrightwood, California. He's in the field suspension, ARC Performance, VA powered S14, Odi Bakshis. It's a Nissan S14. He's got a RB25 under the hood, just to clarify things. It's us versus them on GT Radials. He is Ryan Littrell. Next up, your 2013 Formula Drift champion. He's from right here in Southern California. In the loudmouth exhaust, Achilles radial, BMW, Michael Essa. Not only can you thank the driver, but you have to thank his crew. They worked hard as the engine popped and got the car back out here on track, got it back into position through the night, got it back here at 5 a.m. He is your defending Formula Drift champion in the Rockstar Energy Drink Nexen Tire SR by Toyota TC Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osmo. Next up from Los Angeles, California, Ryan likes to call him relentless, and he lives that lifestyle. A privateer, look at this, no tire sponsor. He's going for glory in the Doc V8 turbo-powered S14. He is Jeff Jones. Next up, look at this gentleman. He didn't compete last weekend. He's back here. He's in a Roush Performance, Roush Supercharged Ford Mustang. He's on Falcon tires. Look at that. Look at, he is nervous. He's excited. Make some noise for Orange County's own Trenton Beecham. All right, next up, moving on down the line, making it truly international. You can see the Oracle lighting. Lights are turned on. The Achilles radials will be lit up. From Ireland, it's Dean Cartage Carty. You can see the beauty. That is the highlighter yellow vehicle, lighting up those Falcon tires, that Vortex supercharged V8 powered S14.5. But then you see the beast calmly sitting on the corner of his vehicle from San Jose, California. Make some noise for Matt Field. A driver that's right here from Long Beach, California. So if you're flying that Long Beach flag, make some noise for the 20V powered Mazda Trix MX-5 on GT Radials. He is Kyle the Menace Mohan. Last but definitely not least, you can see him lurking in the shadows with that flat black paint, chrome and chrome red graphics, Roush Performance, Ford Mustang on Falcon tires. He is JTP Justin Pollock. Count them out. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers ready to do battle. $25,000 purse up for grabs. Streets of Long Beach, are you ready to send it at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge? Head-to-head, mano-a-mano, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves to make his way back up to the start line. You go, go, go as the Dirty Panda points and delegates the power that is instituted and bestowed upon him. Ryan, we have the making of a really fun event. You know, we have a driver that has not seen this track before, and we have all the way to a driver who's defeated many among this track like Frederick Osbo, but in between that, you have a field of very talented, high horsepowered vehicles.
Oh, absolutely. Some of the best in this series are here tonight to compete for this really awesome event, a great prize pool, and I expect to see some amazing competition because these guys bring it no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this because motorsports fans, if people are seeing drifting for the first time, you're seeing a turbocharged BMW, you're seeing a 4-cylinder turbo Scion TC, and it's SR by Toyota, and now you're seeing a V8 turbocharged V8 S14, you're seeing a Ford Mustang, 2 Ford Mustangs, you're seeing a 10-cylinder Viper go against a 3-rotor MX-5. For motorsports fans, you gotta love it, but you gotta be scratching your head if this is the first time you're seeing drifting. All right, so again, I gotta ask the question. How many people have seen drifting before? Yeah, a couple of you. All right, how many people is this your first drifting event? Show of hands. And I ask this, there's no dumb question, because I just want to educate you throughout today. I'm your tour guide, and it also gives those hardcore fans to say, hey man, throw an arm around that fan that's new to this, kind of break it down. There's an opportunity to show them, to tell them, to educate them on drifting. I'm not talking about you, bro. Keep your hand back. Don't move in that quick. I'm just kidding. There you go. Hey, pump the brake, homeboy. I'm just kidding. All jokes aside, there's an opportunity born every day to really show you what drifting is all about. It's subjective, unlike any other motorsport. Yes, there's a checkered flag, but it's not about who gets there first. It's not about who gets there the fastest. It's subjective. So initiation, fluidity, commitment, clipping zones. There's 2 dedicated rear clipping zones, and there is 1 front clipping point into turn 11. When they enter on initiation, you'll see the touch and go. They need to utilize the whole track. They need to get their rear bumper as close as possible to that outside touch and go. When they go under the bridge, now it's the rear clipping zone. They'll come through the sweeper, hit the second rear clipping zone, denoted by the red cones or the red triangles hanging off the wall. As they navigate through, there is another touch and go where the pavement changes color. You'll see it go from black to gray. That's also a rear touch and go, and then they bring it on in where the speeds drop tremendously. You'll see a lot of utilization of the e-brake, downshift into the gears, clutch kicking, and then just dragging their front bumper around and wrapping around that front clipping point. And the drivers need to utilize it as basically a wall, so basically treat that as such. Odi Bakshish, this is a buy run for Odi Bakshish, moving his way into the Great 8. So essentially a practice run for Odi Bakshish in the field suspension art performance V8 powered S14. Odi Bakshish advances on to the Great 8, given that we have 10 drivers. So only 2 drivers will not advance on from what's been deemed the top 16 and then forge the Great 8. So Odi Bakshish with his first run, warming up those Falcon tires. This will officially be our first battle of the top 16, quote unquote, of the top 10, as it's been mandated because we have 10 drivers. This will be Ryan Literal in the RB powered Us versus Them S14, going against JTP Justin Pollock in the Roush Performance Falcon Tires Ford Mustang. So one car leads, one car chases. Ryan Literal will lead on this first battle, then they'll alternate the order. You can see the mandated start chicane. You can see the orange cones there as they navigate through there. If they hit any of the cones as they go through the start chicane, then they will be restarted. If they basically 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out, and they will forfeit that round and therefore be losing. So Ryan Literal will be leading. Justin Pollock will be giving chase. Michael Essa in the back there. You can see Dean Carnage Carney all staged and ready to go. Fresh tires, a fresh good time. You can see all of them watching in the wings, see what transpires here. So Ryan Literal will lead as Justin Pollock will give chase. And away they go from the start line. Oh, seeing a cone started. Let's see a flag. Are we seeing a flag? And so Ryan Literal will go through the course. We'll see if this will be a restart. Ryan Literal going through as Justin Pollock navigates through the course. Good job by Ryan. Justin Pollock cannot be shaken.
Well, that was really interesting here. Ryan Literal hits one of the chicane cones. Now the light was triggered, but he does not stop. The light is actually right in front of him, so he just was kind of blew right through it there. So I have imagined that they will run this again as a rerun. Drivers do need to stop when those lights are flashed, but unfortunately for Literal, kind of ran through it on that one. So we'll probably move on to our next buy run, which will be Michael Essa, and then we'll move on to Kyle Mohan, who will follow him up.
So what Ryan said there is that the drivers, again, they hit the start chicane, they hit the cone, knocked it over. Unfortunately, that was to be a restart, but he did fail to stop. He completed the course. So what that means, Justin Pollock was thrown off there, and he completed the rest of the course regardless of Ryan Literal and his basically beginning of that run. We'll see if they have enough tire underneath their vehicle for essentially 3 runs, because this will be a rerun for Literal and Pollock. It says us versus them on the door, but it's Ryan versus Justin, as Jeff Jones will make his way back up to the start line. A beautiful evening here in Long Beach. About 81 degrees throughout today. The temperature dips, the wind continues, but the Santa Ana winds making just an absolutely ideal day on the water, on the track. And now into the evening here at the 40-plus years running of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Here we go, Ryan Literal out front. Quick little Motegi flick, initiation. We got a clean start here, so no restart. Literal very shallow off that touch and go. Justin Pollock shadowing through the course. Nice job by Justin Pollock as Literal brings it into that final clipping point. And Justin Pollock, once again, a great chase job there. A good lead run by Ryan Literal, and a good effort by both these gentlemen.
Well, a good measured approach here by JTP, getting on the brakes from the get-go, but eyeing up Literal as he wraps around to this touch and go here. Literal does not reach out as wide as he needs to. JTP closing the door here. Now Literal just tried to make a move at this point, throw a big smoke cloud, but JTP pulls back for a second, tucks upon the inside and stays nice and tight on that last inside clip.
Ryan will have to see if they have enough rubber underneath their vehicle in order to run. Like I said, with the top 10, we will be having quite a few buys here in the top 16, as only 2 drivers will be eliminated from this top 16 to forge our Great 8. One of those will be one of these gentlemen, who will be Literal or Pollock. Justin Pollock will sing it around that Roush performance. Ford Mustang. Great to see Ryan Literal back out here. He's from the Inland Empire. The RB-powered Nissan against the All-American Ford Mustang of Justin Pollock, who's originally from Michigan, now living here in Southern California. The lights are on. Engage. Battle from these two gentlemen, JTP and Ryan Literal. Chasing him down. Justin Pollock very shallow on the course, flying through the course. Not exactly getting to those outside touch and go or the clipping point, but pulls on through into that final clipping point. Oh, and Justin Pollock comes to a halt. As Literal, look at that. So those on the water side of the course, they definitely got a better view of this. Ryan, it really comes down to that final point, but break it down.
Well, you can see JTP kind of takes a similar line to Ryan Literal's on run number 1. Doesn't get out to the touch and go, kind of short there on that first outer zone, but he is pulling away from Literal here. Now a big smoke cloud is thrown up as Literal is going to tuck up on the inside, go real tight here, but JTP is holding a lot of angle, and then Literal makes contact with him. So I have to imagine on the first face, it looks like JTP will probably be at fault for the contact there. You can see as he transitions back around, big angle out of the car, and just is not able to hold that momentum, and Literal has nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Justin Pollock, it seemed like he really parked it there excessively. You know, it'd be one thing, but and even adding insult to injury, it seemed that Literal was very shallow. You saw him kind of beeline towards that final clip, but it also gave an opportunity to go into the wheel of Justin Pollock. Let's take a look at this again, Ryan.
Yeah, Judge is taking a second and third look here. You can see Justin out front. A little short on that touch and go. He throws big angle right there, has to make an adjustment, but he is pulling ahead of Literal quite a distance here, and you can just see that plume of smoke. Now, Literal knows he's back a ways. He comes up on the inside, and then there's so much angle that JTP is holding there and lack of momentum. Literal has literally nowhere to go.
The judges tasked with, you know, the assessment of that situation. Slide him left for Pollock, slide him right for Literal. Again, if this is your first time seeing drifting, it's majority rules, and it looks like majority 3-0. Ryan Literal gets the win. Our 3 judges scrutinized the run, and unfortunately, Justin Pollock is knocked out. It seemed that that mistake, Ryan, you'd have to assume that that big mistake there was the big nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I had advantage for Justin on run number 1. He, ran pretty tight to Literal wherever he went, followed him wherever he was on the track. And on the second run, he had a decent line, not the greatest. He was pulling a big gap against Literal, but that mistake at the end, you got to finish through all the way, and just gave Literal nowhere to go, and that led to contact.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him. He's a serious contender in the Formula Drift Championship. He has a very proven, he's proven himself as a driver progressively throughout the years. This is Michael Essa, loudmouth exhaust, Achilles radial, redline oil, BMW. 2013 Formula Drift champion, makes his way through the course, not clutch kicking it out, not stepping out the vehicle, warming up the tires, keeping it safe, keeping off the walls. He advances on into the Great 8. Another driver we're about to see, I presented to you in the driver intros. He is from Long Beach, California, in this 20B, for all you rotary fans out there. He is in the 20B 3-rotor Mazda Trix MX-5 on GT radial tires. This is Kyle the Menace Mohan. Kyle Mohan wraps around that final clip and makes his way into the Great 8. Kyle Mohan advancing on through, obviously, with a bye run. A lot of these guys utilizing this bye run for an opportunity to get the track, see the track, dance their way, bebop their way into the Great 8. Matt Field, another driver. One to watch. The Vortex Supercharged V8 S14. That is a 240SX. He is from San Jose, California. Matt Field. You can see Jeff Jones there on the start line. This is our next battle. And you can see the big wing of the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles radial tires. That is Dean Carnage Carney. Waiting in the wings, as well as our defending Formula Drift champion, that is Frederick Osbo. Here we go, Trent Beecham, the Roush Performance Supercharged Roush Illuminator Engine Mustang, going against Jeff Jones, turbocharged LS, V-powered S14. Here comes Jeff Jones in view. One light on, gets into the outside clipping zone. Trent Beecham giving himself maybe a little bit too much of a buffer as he dives in door to door. And unfortunately, Jeff Jones' line was not picture perfect, but Trent needs to chase him down. Needs to utilize that car as a moving clipping point. Break this down.
Well, here we go. Let's take a look at it again here. Jones gets out nice and hot. Already pulling a little bit of a gap here. Does not reach out to that touch and go. Now Beecham's looking for an opportunity to chase him down. He's able to get on the line that Jeff is here, and you can see both drivers reaching around to this last inside clip. Big wide turn right there by Jeff Jones. Beecham gets kind of locked up on the inside. No major contact there. So it'll look like we'll move on to run number 2, as now Beecham will have an opportunity to take the lead against Jeff Jones.
Yeah, Jones definitely left himself kind of open, I would say. It wasn't the tightest line, but you know, Mr. Beecham there chasing him down. He definitely could have surged forward a little bit there, especially on that last clip. It wasn't the prettiest on either driver's behalf. I mean, can't get an amen. All right, so Trenton Beecham will now lead. Jeff Jones will give chase. Jeff Jones with a lot more turns on this very track. Trenton Beecham in this Ford Mustang. Let's see how he fares out front. Trenton gets into that outside touch and go into the first rear clipping zone. Nice job by Trent. Jeff Jones. Trent a lot more fluid out front than in that chase position. Oh, and Beecham shuts it down. So Beecham flicks it around, shuts it down, and Jeff Jones looks like there's a bit of contact here. Ryan talking to the judges.
Well, this is a much better run for Beecham than run number 2. You can see he does a little bit better job on that touch and go. Good line here. Jeff Jones is with him for a second there, gets on the brakes, tries to tuck up on the inside. Beecham stays wide on outer zone number 2, so good job there. But watch Beecham as he wraps around this last inside clip. Right here, he shuts it down. Now that's right before the finish line, so I think that's going to be a big topic for the judges to take a look at, as Jeff Jones has to slow down in order to not make contact.
Yeah, you can see Beecham there, that fire just shooting out the back. You wonder what happened there for him, as Beecham now waits for the verdict. Is it going to slide right for Jones, left for Beecham? And Jeff Jones gets the win. Jeff Jones from Los Angeles, California gets the win and advances on to the Great 8. Our 8 drivers are set. We have a couple bye runs between Dean Carnage Carney and Frederick Osbo. Here comes Dean Carnage Carney in that Dodge Viper. Oracle Lighting Achilles Radial Dodge Viper from Ireland, leaving the start line. Here comes Dean Carney. Listen to all 10 cylinders bang away here on the streets of Long Beach. From the most cylinders on track here in Formula Drift competition to the very minimal amount of cylinders outside of, I guess you could say, a 3-rotor, but a 4-piston vehicle. That is Frederick Osbo, your defending Formula Drift champion. Rockstar Energy Drink SR by Toyota TC. Motegi Racing wheels wrapped in Nexen tires. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, our final driver with his bye run to join the 7 other drivers in the Great 8 of the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. Where are my Frederick Osbo fans at, the Norwegian Hammer? I know there's a few of you out there cheering him on, our defending champion. hats off to Shaldo and the Papadakis Racing team for getting that car back together. Our 8 drivers are forged, and now from here on out, you're going to be seeing a head-to-head competition in the Grade 8 Odi Bakshis versus Ryan Literal, Michael Essa versus Kyle Mohan, Matt Field versus Jeff Jones, and Dean Carnage Carney versus Frederick Osbo here at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge when we return. You can see the evidence on track throughout today's action and this weekend's action, and the action continues tomorrow. So much action, and we're about to see some more. Our head-to-head battles continue, and now we're going to be seeing from here on out not just by-runs, but head-to-head battles. And the plot thickens as more cylinders, more winkles, and more horsepower will hit the track, and obviously some more tire debris on track and in the air. Evidence strewn about the track for the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. And our first battle of the Grade 8, Odi Bakshis pulls to the start line. He's in the field suspension, ARC Performance, VA powered 240SX, and he is going, not going against Ryan Literal. As we are finding out that Ryan Literal is unfortunately, boom goes the dynamite. Ryan Literal, that RB powered S14 is a scratch. So Ryan Literal pushes hard to gain that advancement against JTP, but Ryan, him going against JTP, I mean, he probably sustained damage, bent pieces. I mean, that was a hard hit. You saw the car go up.
Yeah, I mean, in this kind of competition where, you know, you don't have all day to fix a vehicle, if you have something happen that's just not available to fix within a 5 or 10 minute window, it could be the event for you, and that's what we saw with Hilburn. That's what we're seeing with Ryan Literal. So Odi Bakshis gets another opportunity here to move one step closer to the Final Four as he takes his bye run. And we'll move on to our next battle, which will be a full pull between Michael Essa and Kyle Mohan.
So a bye run for Odi Bakshis, but man, making me pucker up a little bit. I'm just watching as he eats a little bit of seat there. As now we are seeing 2 Formula Drift veterans, Michael Essa, Kyle Mohan. Been competing for a few years. Again, 2013 Formula Drift champion in that BMW. That's Michael Essa. He will be leading Loudmouth Exhaust, Achilles Radial, BMW, as Kyle Mohan on GT Radial tires. Mazda Tricks 20B MX-5 will be giving chase. You guys ready to see a good battle, Long Beach? Make some noise! Michael Essa out front, Kyle the Menace Mohan giving chase, transitioning to that first clip. Kyle Mohan, a little shimming there, a lot of shimming. Essa, very shallow, but man, look at the plume. You look like a choo-choo train going around the track with all that smoke coming out the back, the loudmouth exhaust, BMW. Not the cleanest run. He didn't exactly hit the touch and go or the rear clipping point, but man, it still looks exciting.
Well, you can see right here kind of a big mistake on initiation for Kyle Mohan, and that kind of sets the trend for the rest of the run. Is Michael Essa, pretty good job out front, and an amazing smoke cloud that's got to be incredibly difficult to drive behind. Mohan is able to make up some ground towards the end, but then he makes a tiny little error right on that inside clip, so it's probably going to be advantage to Michael Essa on run number 1, but now he'll have an opportunity, Kyle Mohan that is, to get a lead run of his own.
All right, we're going to be seeing Kyle Mohan lead, Michael Essa giving chase. Just setting the paces here as we are in the Grade 8. We're seeing a bulk start here from Mohan. We're seeing them get restarted here. lead in that 20B 3-rotor MX-5. Debuting that car, Ryan, I gotta say, he seems to have like a reinvigorated just drivability to his car from last year, from the RX-8 and previous years to now this MX-5.
Absolutely, I definitely expect big things from him this year. He seems super motivated. The car looks awesome. But let's see what he can do here against Michael Essa.
Right on, here we go. Kyle Mohan out of the start chicane. Looks like we got a clean start. Shimmies his way into that first. Cannot shake Essa. Middle of the road for Mohan. Essa shoots in shallow on the inside. Mohan finds himself in the right place in that second rear clipping zone around that final clipping point. Essa dives into the door. Some good elements of Mohan's lead run, and of course, Essa chasing him down.
Well, good initiation here by Kyle Mohan, but you can see Michael Essa right with him, stays on the line that Mohan is on. Mohan a little bit deeper right here, Essa on the inside, so a little bit of mistake right there for Essa. And then he gets back on it, finds an opportunity to attack on the inside right here, stays real close to Kyle Mohan, and both drivers throttle across the finish line.
Ryan, you know, taking a look at both these runs, the needle's gonna go either way, or is it gonna go one more time? I think there's gotta be a decision here. We're hearing some fans chant one more time. Maybe they think something else. I'm seeing Ryan go, and look at that. It is not going one more time. Michael Essa gets the victory unanimously. It wasn't a split decision, so that means just Kyle Mohan making too many mistakes. I have to assume on that lead run, as well as kind of on the chase run for sure, and then leaving some opportunity there on that second battle.
Yeah, it's a pretty sizable mistake in his chase run on initiation, and then at the last inside clip. And you know, Essa didn't have the greatest lead, but he was there with him on the chase, so that's what gave it to him.
Here we go, two S14s, Matt Field, Jeff Jones. Here we go. Matt Field getting out to that touch and go. Nice job. Good transition from Field into that second rear clipping zone. Very fluid, good line. Jeff Jones dancing in that smoke. Man, the chemtrails spitting off the back of Matt Field's vehicle, and Jeff Jones, man, you got to hand it to him, really hanging tough.
Well, real snappy right here by Jeff Jones in the chase position, but out front Field, amazing on that touch and go, and then wrapping around to that first and second outer zone. Great job by Field, real smooth line. Jones trying to hang with him around that last corner, just not able to close the door all the way. Looks like it'll be an advantage to Matt Field on run number one.
Yeah, Matt Field just the beast out front. But like I said, kudos to Jeff Jones. I mean, a lot of these guys go off muscle memory as far as boom, 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 ticking the boxes, working the wheel, throwing it, grabbing it, hit the e-brake, clutch kicking, stepping it in, downshifting. A lot of it is muscle memory, especially given, you know, imagine putting blinders on, but the blinder's not obviously a sleeper blinder, but the smoke just filling your cockpit, up in your face, you're underneath the helmet, you're breathing heavy. There's a lot to navigate out here, and the walls do not say they're sorry like Justin Bieber. They definitely don't say that. They are unforgiving. You're gonna bang up your front bumper, your back bumper, and potentially your doors going into your competitor. Here we go, Jeff Jones will be out front, and Matt Field will be giving chase. Through the start chicane, we got a clean start. Let's send him down the pipe. Here we go. Jeff Jones, Matt Field drops into formation like a dogfight on the streets of Long Beach. Good job by Jeff Jones out front. Matt Field, the highlighter shadow, up in the mix. Look at Field applying the pressure. Transition to that final clip. Jeff Jones, proper navigation through the course, but man, Matt Field with that neon yellow shadow was everywhere. Jeff Jones wins.
Starts off right out of the gate, right on the back bumper of Jeff Jones. Jones doing a pretty good job out front, but look at Matt Field tucking right here, gets on the throttle, super, super tight to Jones. Jones pulls a little bit of a wider line there. Matt has to make an adjustment, does a great job controlling his vehicle, and then wraps back around. So really good lead run by Jeff Jones, but Matt Field incredible in the chase.
Yeah, you know, Frederick Osbo, Dean Carney entering and gaining some applause from the fans, and slide him right for Matt Field. Matt Field gets the win. I'd have to say rightfully so. We're hearing some of the fans say one more time. I think selfishly, they would like to see Matt Field chase him down. That was a very dominant performance. Hats off to Jeff Jones, but unfortunately Matt Field, for Jeff Jones' sake, just applying the pressure, showed his dominance, and I think he did a phenomenal job to gain that victory.
It was a really great bit of driving by Field, right, especially right here on outer zone 2, where Jones went real wide. It was an area where there definitely could have been some contact. He made an adjustment, perfect job tucking back on the inside on that last inside clip, and really impressive by the young driver from San Jose.
Like you said, he accommodated for not the best line, which even adds more just kind of perfection to Matt Field's chase job.
When you're asked to drive door to door in drifting, and the lead driver makes any kind of mistake, you can also make a mistake by following that mistake as a chase driver. But Matt Field did not do that. He made a good adjustment, and it's a really good bit of driving there.
Would you agree that the fans were chanting one more time because they selfishly just wanted to see Matt Field go again?
I don't blame him.
There you have it. I know. You got Jeff Jones, who, I mean, that's basically like a hockey fight, right? You got the LA Kings versus the San Jose Sharks. That's what went down on track. And I got to say, the Sharks came out on top there in this instance. But you still have some LA blood in the mix. We got Odie Bakshis, Wrightwood, California. You got Michael Essa, Matt Field. This is our final battle of the Great Eight to forge our Final Four. Already in the Final Four, you're going to see Odie Bakshis going versus Michael Essa. On the right side, you'll see Matt Field go against one of these drivers. Who's it going to be? Will it be our defending champion, the Norwegian Hammer, in the Rockstar Energy Drink SR by Toyota TC on Motegi Racing wheels wrapped in Nexen tires? Or will it be the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper? You have the most cylinders versus the least cylinders. 10 versus 4. Here we go. Dean Carnage Carney, Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles radials out front. Nice job, look at that, Dean Carney using the whole course, ping-ponging through the chute into that first rear clipping zone. Dean Carney putting on a heck of a show out front. Frederick Osbo, a little shaken, not stirred, but the hammer gets dropped there towards the last portion of the course.
Well, it looks like we got a battle on our hands here as Dean Carney leads out front. Look at this great job here. Nice angle right up against that touch and go. Smooth back around. Osbo right there. Osbo falls off for a second right here. Lets Kearney get into that outer zone, but then he accelerates, get right back on it, then tucks up on the inside. Both drivers perfect across that last inside clip. So just a slight mistake for Osbo in the chase position. Pretty good lead run by Kearney overall. So a nice battle on hand here to find out who's going to move on into the Final Four.
Well, a very David versus Goliath type of mentality, but I got to tell you, Goliath could throw a 4 cylinders of Dean Carnage Carney. Truly international, Ryan. If you look at this from 13 years ago, let's just say even 10 years ago, let's say even 5 years ago, would you believe that, just the motorsport has progressed from, 240 SXs and Corollas and this, this, let's call it Rice Rocket type of mentality. Now we have Dodge Vipers going against near 1,000 horsepower, 4-cylinder turbo-powered vehicles. You have a Norwegian going against an Irish guy. You have an American car versus SR by Toyota. An absolute progression of the sport.
There's definitely a lot of things to brag about this sport and about the series in general, and one of them is just the diversity. They're one of the most well-fabricated, well-built vehicles in the world, the highest horsepower stock chassis vehicles. I mean, there's just so many things you could say about the sport that make it incredible.
Yeah, so thank you guys for sticking around. You guys having fun, Long Beach? Those are sticking around, watching online, and right here in the building, back at it again with the drifting. Here we go. Frederick Osbo out front. Dean Kearney, look at that. Back at it again into that touch and go. It's Frederick Osbo. Dean Kearney, look at Dean applying the pressure. Dean Carnage Kearney up in the door. Frederick Osbo wrapping around. Osbo slingshots out of that final clip. But man, Dean was up in the mix. A great showing there by both these guys.
Well, here we go. Frederick Osbo in the lead. Dean Kearney in the chase. Osbo, pretty good lead out front. Very similar to Dean. Almost as close. Dean was probably a little bit closer, but then right here where Osbo fell off, Dean stayed tucked up right on the inside to Osbo. Eyed up that back bumper, transitioned back around, shooting back on the inside. No major flubs right there by either guy. So a really good run in run number 1 and run number 2. Very, very close here. It's going to come down to this judge's decision. See if we have a winner or if it's too close to call.
Yeah, I mean, none of the fans are cheering one more time right now. That's kind of a very difficult battle there. I mean, you have Frederick Osbo who put down a really great lead run, and just as I say that, the fans start to cheer it. And I think selfishly for me, I'd like to see him go one more time. But there might have been some mistakes that I didn't see, as opposed to the judges seeing. Ryan. Going to the judges, Frederick Osbo, the defending champion, Dean Kearney going against the defending champion. Look at this, Ryan says Dean Kearney, there's a one more time, and Andy says, Dean Kearney gets the win. Dean Carnage Kearney gets the win and takes out Frederick Osbo. Ryan, I agree with that call, man. That was a great chase job. If you looked at Dean's lead run, he hit all the boxes. When I say that, he ticked the box. He went to the touch and go, went to outside coming zone, but his chase job, I'd say, was a little bit better than that of Osbo.
The leads between Frederick and Dean were very similar. In the chase run, Osbo had a little bit of a faltering right here before outer zone number 2. Dean had a little bit of distance in that inside clip, but I don't think that measured a one more time for more than a majority of the judges, and that's what you saw there, Dean getting the majority with one judge going one more time.
Yeah, I think that separation around that final clipping point was because Osbo did have a little bit better of a line. He shot to that outside touch and go, so he had a little bit of more speed getting to that final front clipping point, which allowed that separation between him and Dean. But man, I completely agree with that, and I'm glad the judge went that way, but you could see how split it was. I mean, one of the judges going one more time, but taking out the defending champion, Dean, a lot of confidence, you have to assume. When we come back, the final 4 is set. We are about to see Odi Bakshis versus Michael Essa, Matt Field versus Dean Carnage Kearney. This is the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge here on the streets of Long Beach. The final 4 is set. Thank you for joining us, Jared Deando, Ryan Sage. Ryan, the Formula Drift Championship just kicked off last weekend. We do it every weekend before the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. We'll be back at it again. But right now, we're back at it again on track. Odi Bakshis, Michael Essa in the mix. Odi Bakshis getting out to that touch and go. Nice execution. Michael Essa getting deep, but a correction. Whoa, Essa zeroing in like a dogfight. Michael Essa had some bobbles there. Odi put his car in the right place out of the gate. Ryan, let's break it down. Let's analyze this.
Well, nice initiation by Odi right here. You can see he gets super wide. Essa's pretty tight on him. He has to max out the angle, so he's not able to stay on the same line as Odi. Then he tucks up on the inside here. Odi tries to reach out to that second outer zone. Essa with him on this last section of the course. Both drivers wrap around and no major contact or any kind of funny stuff in that last inside clip. So a fun run to watch. A run number 1 looks like Essa with just a slight mistake after initiation.
Yeah, you're right. You know, good job to Odi getting out that touch and go. It seemed like he really focused on that. He could have gotten closer to that first outside clipping zone under the bridge, but you saw that mistake by Essa, which threw him off, and then you saw him make those corrections to adjust to get to the door of Odi as they approached that second outside clipping zone. From there on out, it seemed like they were in a dogfight. It's really going to come down to see who is truly dominant here in this second half of this battle. Essa, your 2013 Formula Drift champion, the loudmouth exhaust Achilles radial BMW will lead as the Feel suspension Arc Performance Falcon tire S14 of Odi Bakshis will give chase. We're ready to send it here Long Beach. You can see the lights illuminate, extinguish, and we're sending them from the start line. Michael Essa out front, Odi Bakshis giving chase. Little flick of the wrist into that first touch and go. Essa gets out there. An early transition by Odi Bakshis. The smoke is filling the cockpit. The old Houdini, Odi Bakshis. You can see him getting a little bit out of shape. Man, you could barely see the cars through all that chili smoke.
Well, take a look at this. I mean, this is pretty incredible that Odi even made his way through. There's a big plume of smoke right there from Michael Essa. Odi tucks up on the inside. Pretty much stays with Michael Essa. Essa, pretty decent lead run out front. Huge smoke cloud right here as Odi finds his way back up on the inside and does a great job navigating around that last inside clip, but very impressive by both drivers here in the final 4 as we make our way to find out who's going to win between Michael Essa and Odi Bakshis.
We have some great fans in the building. You guys having fun, Long Beach, sticking around, tried and true. It's a beautiful Saturday evening here on the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. The streets will be packed again here tomorrow. So thank you for sticking around. We'll be back out here. No drifting throughout the weekend. This is how we end it for the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge, but we are already in the final 4, quickly expediting to find out who is going to hold up the biggest check of them all, $25,000 purse for our drifters. As we are waiting for the verdict, slide them left for Essa in the BMW, slide them right for Bakshis in the 240SX. Ryan, Brian, and Andy. Ryan says one more time. Brian and Andy say, Essa, and Michael Essa gets the win. Michael Essa gets the win and taking out Odi Bakshis in this battle. So that is 2-1, Ryan, as we saw one more time from Ryan, but as far as the other two, they're saying Michael Essa. What do you think was the dominant decision there? We saw that mistake there by Essa in that second run. Odi had some mistakes. Seems like they were truly blinded by the smoke as well.
I was more leaning one more time myself, maybe a little bit in the Bakshis camp, but I don't know that I would have gone Bakshis all the way. I think one more time, you know, probably a little bit more deserving. Hard to make. You can make an argument for both sides, but I think the easy answer is one more time.
Yeah, you can, again, hey, I got you. Exactly see what you're saying, but a 2-1, and Essa advances. He's in the finals, third place, decided by qualifying. Third place will be dictated by qualifying. So the winner of this battle, Matt Field, Dean Carnage Carney. We've seen some great driving from them over the years, and I gotta say, even tonight, Dean Carney taking out Frederick Osbo as Matt Field, taking out Jeff Jones. This should be a fun one to watch. Two very aggressive drivers, two kind of no holds barred, out for the glory, for the love of the game, and it's just want to earn the respect of not only, you know, obviously the fans, but also the drivers. They're hungry. They want to get them. So, Field versus Carney. Who's going to be going against Michael Essa in the finals? This is it. What? All right, here we go on the other side of that Final Four bracket. Who's rooting for the Dodge Viper of Dean Carnage Carney? Where are you at? Who's ready for the V8 Supercharged S14 at Matt Field? Where are you at? Here we go. Covering the view of the judges and the fans. Matt Field. Smoke with the Falcon tires. Good fluid line from Field. Dean Carney settling in, but then spins out. Dean Carney pushing too hard, and the Viper got bit back. Unfortunately, a hard-working team of Dean Carney ended up biting him in the end.
Well, in a weird way, you could kind of sense something coming after outer zone number 2. Here's Matt Field out front. Nice job on that first outer zone, reaching out to the second. Now right here, Dean starts accelerating, has a little bit too much angle there. And on first face, it looks like that's going to be fault to Dean Carney.
So we're assessing what transpired here. Was Field potentially at fault, Ryan?
Let's take a look at it again. I mean, obviously, anytime you see somebody spin in the chase with no contact, you assume that that person's at fault. Field right there in outer zone 2. Goes a little bit wide, but I don't know. I got to imagine that's still going to be fault to Dean.
That was kind of that safe window of the transition. I would say that, you know, Field maybe did transition a little earlier there and maybe come into Dean, but Dean has to kind of accommodate that, right? I mean, it seemed that maybe Field was slowly transitioning or like a quick correction there.
I mean, I don't know that he was transitioning back around to the last inside clip. He was coming out of outer zone 2 a little bit long there and taking a wider line, but I don't think he was losing momentum enough for it to cause a spin. It just looked like Dean was overcommitted on the inside.
All right, so again, that's a speculation until the judges deem who's at fault here. as Ryan and ours assessment taking a look. You can see Field and Dean Carnage Carney back to the start line, ready to do battle, and let this battle commence. Two gladiators enter. One man will leave to go against that of Michael Essa in the finals. $25,000 collective purse overall, but the biggest check going to obviously the winner here under the lights at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. Dean Carnage Carney will now lead. Matt Field will be giving chase. All right, so here we go. We are seeing Dean Carney. I mean, to the naked eye, it looked like Dean spun under his own power. If there was any contact, I'd have to say it was just kind of incidental due to the, obviously, incident. So here we go. Dean Carney out front. Matt Field giving chase. Throwing caution to the wind. Nice job by Dean. Field transitioning. Matt Field, a lot of pressure applied. Look at this, coming to that final clip. Now you have to think, woo, there it is. Putting an exclamation point on a great run there with Dean spinning. Field still pretty aggressive.
Well, Field pushing hard, as is Dean Carney. I mean, Dean has really got that touch and go on lock, and a great job coming back around to that first outside zone. But look at Matt Field. I mean, he's had two incredible chase runs tonight. And here's the second one right here, just door to door, pretty much all the way. Very confident in his driving as he wraps around that last inside clip, willing to take big risks for big rewards. And it looks like he did just that. So here we go.
Slide him left for Dean Carnage Carney, slide him right for Matt Field. There it is, Matt Field going to the finals. We are seeing Matt Field versus Michael Essa. Michael Essa, who qualified fourth yesterday, against Matt Field, who qualified second. This should be a good one to watch. The finals are here. You have the Vortex Supercharged V8 S14 240SX of Matt Field. Him qualifying higher. He will be leading. Michael Essa, loudmouth exhaust, Achilles radial BMW will be giving chase. Redline oil synthetics flowing through the veins of this vehicle. He's on Achilles radial tires. Falcon tires being warmed up of Matt Field, the beast from the Bay. The finals are here. Who's going to be the highest on the respective podium at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge? Are you guys ready, Long Beach? You've seen both of these guys and some collective great driving from all the gentlemen out here this evening, from 10 drivers, now down to 2. You can see the start light illuminate, extinguish, and send it. Here we go. Out the start chicane. One half of the battle ready to be underway. Matt Field out front. Coming to view with judges, Michael Essa needs to get involved here if he wants to get any sort of victory. Essa shuts it down. Matt Field continues on. From left field to right field. Matt Field making quick work. As Field an obvious advantage after Michael Essa falls off quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Field's got certainly a big advantage here. You can see right from the get-go, Essa, a lot of angle there out of turn 1, and is just not able to stay with Matt Field. It's going to be Matt Field, a big advantage here. Michael Essa is going to have to force a 0 on Matt Field, or excuse me, on Matt Field, or he's going to have to make an unforced error of his own, Matt Field that is, in order for there to be a one more time with that big of a mistake from Michael Essa. So Matt Field 1 run away from securing his first ever win here and his first championship, I guess, victory for the Motegi Racing Super Drift.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty heralded prize. 1 run away.
It should be exciting, and Matt Field, an exciting driver to watch, and you know, all signs are saying that it's Matt Field if Michael Essa makes another mistake here, and is the car ready and able to be ran? I mean, you saw it quickly, just shut her down into that first touch and go, not even making it to that first outside clipping zone. You wonder what's going on with Michael Essa. Matt Field, potentially $7,000 richer out front. He has that deficit. As Michael Essa speaking to our officials here on the start line to find out what has gone on, and we should be seeing Michael Essa leading with Matt Field giving chase. $25,000 purse collective for all our drivers. All right, so some contention here from Michael Essa. You can see he's taking a stance here as far as not pulling to the start line. All right, here we go. We are seeing Essa. Essa will initiate. Field will be giving chase. Here we go with the second half of this battle. Ready to send in. Long Beach makes some noise. Essa will lead. Field will give chase. And Michael Essa comes into that first front clip. And with that, a victory lap for Matt Field. As Matt Field, Michael Essa rotates on initiation. Did you guys have fun, Long Beach? Oh, come on, you're streaming out. I said, did you have fun? A great Saturday evening here on the streets of Long Beach. Make some noise for your 2016 Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge podium finishers. You got your 1, 2, and 3, and I think you know how the outcome is with 2 major mistakes, unfortunately, by the 2013 Formula Drift champion of Michael Essa. I'm sure you know the order, but we'll spell it out for you. If you would, make some noise coming out of his car. Odi Bakshis, Field Suspension Arc Performance, V8 powered S14. As the other 2 gentlemen step outside of their vehicles. Again, we'll bring the trophies out here as the gentlemen step outside of their vehicles. We'll announce first place, and therefore you'll know who grabs second place. Some good driving, some high horsepowered vehicles. Some exciting driving. Look at that, stepping outside of his car. Make some noise for him. Matt Field stepping outside of his car. And now also Michael Essa. Make some noise for Michael Essa, 2013 Formula Drift champion. All right, so again, grabbing third place here, the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge, the 2016 installment. If you would, please make some noise for third place, Odi Bakshis. And grabbing the victory here in Long Beach. $7,000 richer, the $25,000 purse, but the biggest check going to the Beast from the Bay, Matt Field, your winner here at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. That means second place goes to the Loudmouth Exhaust Achilles Radial BMW of Michael Essa. Grabs second place here on the streets of Long Beach in the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. There's your 1, 2, and 3. Field grabs the top spot. Michael Essa in second, and Odi Bakshis in third. Ryan, some fun driving, just a great way to add more horsepower, more smoke, more fuel to the fire that is the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach.
Yeah, an amazing weekend of events here. We love being in Long Beach, and it's a great way to end everything off underneath the lights, drifting on the streets and this beautiful track. Some of the greatest cars in Formula Drift, and what a victory there from Matt Field to put down some incredible driving. Not only last night, but tonight with some insane chase runs. I think that's really what topped it off for him tonight was his chase runs. Incredible job for him, and congratulations.
You have to think this also comes into play when it comes into the Formula Drift Championship, which reminds me, in just about, less than a month, we're going to be at Road Atlanta. So we encourage you, the fans that are in the building or watching online, to please watch every round of the Formula Drift Championship. If you're not in person, better yet, watch it on formuladcom/live. And of course, Ryan Sage and myself, your hosts, on CBS Sports. So tune in to watch many different angles, all in the cockpit, courtesy of Blackview. But how much confidence does this gain Matt Field going to that second round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview?
Well, Matt Field has not been shy about the fact that he said that I wouldn't be drifting if I didn't think I could win a championship. And I think this year might be an opportunity for him to really show what he's got. He's carrying the momentum coming out of this event. The car looks great. He's confident, and definitely one to watch out for.
Well, we saw a driver take down the defending Formula Drift champion, Frederick Osbo. Will he come back? How are things going to be playing out? Thank you for joining us here. Again, congratulations to Matt Field, Michael Essa, and Odi Bakshis. That is the conclusion of 2016 Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. On behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, Ryan Sage, I'm Jared DeAnda. We'll see you next year, or we'll see you at the next round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview.